Hi, I'm Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers. It's Christmas morning, and regardless of your religion, of your beliefs, of your persuasion, Merry Christmas, and especially Merry Christmas spirit. Because I think that peace on earth and goodwill towards all mankind is something that we can all get behind, regardless of what we personally believe in. You know, there's so much polarization in the world right now, and certainly in this country. And much of it is pushed upon us by social media and even by mainstream media. And I think that we as artists have a unique opportunity to be a force for good, a force for unity and union. I don't know if you remember, a couple decades ago, Discmakers used to organize the Independent Music World Series. Do you remember it? It was a national band competition. We would get thousands of entries every year. We would filter those down, and then the editors of Billboard magazine would choose the top 8 finalists for each of 4 regions. And then we would put on a show, live finals in each of these 4 regions, and 8 bands would be on stage. And these bands, I mean, if you were backstage in the green room at those events, it was an amazing experience, because while these bands came from all different genres, metal and gospel and Latin and hip hop and country and R&B, and you name the genre, back in the green room, they would all be meeting and chatting and networking and exchanging tips and getting along and appreciating each other. And they would come out and watch their other bands and support them, even though they were also competitors. Because what became really clear is, as artists, we have so much more in common because we're artists than what sets us apart, which is really our genre, right? Because regardless of the genre of music, we can appreciate good songwriting. And regardless of the genre of music, we can appreciate great performance and great musicianship. And so let's take that spirit of union, what we have in common with other people, and focus on more on what we have in common than what sets us apart. And maybe we can chart a little more positive course as we go into the new year. Speaking of the new year, I can't resist but to share with you one habit that I have at the end of every year that might be helpful to you. I don't know if you know, I grew up in Aruba and came to the United States, to Philadelphia, to go to college, and started playing in bands here. And after I graduated, I wanted to work in the music business, and so I found myself an entry-level job at Discmakers so many, many years ago. And to this day, I have a habit with my family, a custom. We go to Aruba for the holidays. And every New Year's Eve, I will take a little bit of time. I'll go out to the shoreline, to a rocky part of the shore. I'll walk out to the ocean, and I'll sit down on the rocks for about an hour, and I'll just reflect. I'll think about the year that's passed. What went well? What didn't go so well? What do I wish I had done better? What am I proud of? What am I not so proud of? And then I think about the year ahead, and I think about, what do I want to accomplish? And I'll think about some of my goals. What changes do I need to make to my relationships with family and friends? What changes do I need to make in terms of direction or plans or goals for my business? And of course, for myself, with health and well-being. And I have made, over the years, some major changes in business and in life, just based on sitting for a quiet hour by myself, reflecting on the year that went by and the year that is ahead. I wouldn't call them New Year's resolutions, because while there's nothing wrong with New Year's resolutions, they're a little corny, and I think part of the joke with New Year's resolutions is, you know, by mid-January you've forgotten about them. I'm talking about here doing some serious, little bit of a serious thinking. It doesn't take a long time, right? That 1 hour a year really has helped me kind of drive my life in a positive direction on more than one occasion. So maybe this is helpful for you. I think if we are deliberate about achieving our goals, we have to start with having goals. And a little bit of thinking, an hour, half an hour is probably enough to do that. And it's good to look inward sometimes. And so this artificial changing of the year, which is kind of artificial, right? Because December 30th or 31st or January 1st or 2nd, it's all a day with 24 hours. But it's a good opportunity to sit back and reflect, do a little thinking, and think about how do we progress. So at the end of this year, I want to thank you for watching my videos. If you've worked with disc makers, thank you for doing that. And I want to wish you a very happy holiday and a very successful, happy, and healthy 2022. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you next year.